Hello guys, Axel here and welcome to driver updates. The aim of this module is simple. We're going to install some driver updates. So we will have this LED screen, this LCD and these 4 buttons. There will be 3 or 4 distinct sections depending on how you define it. There will be using the update notes to figure out a certain number to press the confirm button on there. Selecting what we're using, allocation of the files and the installation. Let's get started with the update notes. So we need to press confirm to see the update notes. And when we see them, we will either get added something. Let's see if we can get all 3 here. Removed something. Or let's see if I can find one. This was unintelligible, which is just random letters. Like this. So, we will have some amount of updates. There will be some number of updates. Up to 5. And we'll say added something, remove something, or some unintelligible nonsense. And we're going to be manipulating a number to change a total to give us the value we need to press the confirm button on later. That makes sense. So first of all, we're going to start off with a total of 0. And now, using the last number of the update's version as starting value, so v1.6.3 is the starting value of 3. So for this first one, that's starting value 6. And then we have to identify if something is positive or negative and whether or not it was added or removed. So in this case, improvement, so plus positive, good fix, remove jank, that's removing negative, added negative, and added a fix, positive. So, now going to here, adding a positive thing, we add 2. Adding another positive thing, add 2 again. Removing a negative thing, we add 3, 13. If we added a negative thing, we subtract 3. And then added a positive thing, plus 2. And now using this value we got, we need to add to the total. If the value is positive, subtract the value from the total and then remove any negative signs and then add 5 afterwards. So subtracting the value from the total, minus 12, remove the negative sign, add 5, 17. Let's go to the next one. 7 is the starting value, minus negative, add positive, remove negative, unintelligible nonsense. So, 7 minus negative is plus 3, 10, plus positive, 12, remove the negative, add 3, unintelligible nonsense, multiply by minus 2, negative 30. If the value is negative, double the total, then add the value reducing the total, remove any negative signs. So, double 17 would be 20 plus 14, which is 34. Add the value, so minus 30, 4, remove the negative signs, so 4. Just going to... I know I'm double checking 12 times. 17 times 2. Yeah, okay. So, that's our new total. Third update. 0. So that's our value. Remove feature, minus positive. Add exploit, added a negative. Unintelligible nonsense. And that's it. So that was a very bad update. Minus 0. 0 minus a positive, removing positive, subtract 1, minus 1. Adding a negative, so subtract 3. But then unintelligible multiplied by -2, we get 8. Positive, subtract the value from the total and remove any negative signs. -4, remove negative signs, 4. Add 5 afterwards, 9. So, that's that one. And final one, start value 1, add negative, add positive, add positive, minus positive, minus negative. So we're going to check that again. Add negative, add positive, add positive, remove positive, remove negative. You can see the positive and negative things here. And these are going to be the only options you get. Unintelligible will always be just unintelligible nonsense. So, 1, adding 1, adding negative, subtract 3, so -2. Add positive, we get add 2, 0. Add 2, 2. Minus positive, remove positive is -1, 1. And then remove negative, add 3, 4. So, positive, subtract the value from the total, 5. Remove negative sides, add 5 afterwards, 10. So our final total, since we've gone through every update now, the final total is 10. If your total is greater than 100, subtract 101 till it isn't. When installing the updates, you must press confirm when the progress facility is at most 2% away from this value. So we're going to be pressing it when it's at least 2% away from 10%. Or at most that. But if it's pressed multiple times during this installation or it's not pressed in the determined range, download will fail and be sent back. Do note though, these module directions are described. No strikes will be incurred at any point, and you can encourage to explore the functionalities. Meaning, even if we miss it, the download will fail, but will only be sent back, no strike. So now, pressing the confirm button in the update notes, the installer will appear. We can always cancel, go back to the update notes here. The components we'll find out here. We will always have to install a program and the libraries. But we can install these two things to optimize what our solve, which comes at the cost of making this next puzzle a bit harder. Installer patch means make sure the installer always concedes regardless of the interaction with the confirm button, meaning this first bit is not needed. But I'll do this bit anyway, just in case doing this bit proves too difficult. And then faster loading, when enabled, reduces the installation time to 15 to 30 seconds, rather than the 2 to 4 minutes it actually would be. So let's start out with just trying to fit in these two, and see if we can squeeze in anything else afterwards. So we now have the LED matrix with the blank spaces being pieces of memory we can fill in, and specifically the components, how to fill in, can fill in rectangles, but they don't have to be the same rectangle, it could be diagonally adjacent rectangles, which means if we had a rectangle here, 2 by 2, we could place another rectangle just here, a 1 by 1. However, if we did it here, we can then put one here, then one here, and so on. So, start with the program. Let's try and fit in 11 here. Starting up here might actually be possible here. We can add one here, then add one there, and then add 4 here. No, actually, wait. We can do that, then that, and then we would need at least one bit of leeway to go down here. So let's do that. Then we can do this to get up to 7, and then we can use this one to get up to 10, or even 11 if we wanted. But let's leave that, and then add 1 here. Okay. Let's do that. And now we have the full program in here. Now let's try and get the libraries in here. This should be slightly easier. We can literally just put it here. Actually, no we can't, because each file can only be stored in a single record executed diagonally. Also used for the file costs an extra cell worth of memory. So the first dot doesn't count if you've noticed there, but the ones after it do. And files must be stored in an area exactly fit for their size. So we can't do this, because that's 9 out of 8. So we might have to be creative here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this might be a slightly more difficult than I thought. So maybe we have to reconsider what we did for the program here. So this is where the difficulty if it comes. You need to somehow fit everything in like this. So let's try start with the program down here. We can easily just get all the way up to here. Actually, this seems smarter, because then we can go to libraries and then do what we did for this one. Then we have both of these in here. And now I think we can safely go back now and see if we can fit anything else in here. We could get the installer patch in here, but I don't think we could get the. Well, maybe we could we. No, I don't think we can get faster loading in here though. So unfortunately, we're going to have to do the regular loading here, but we can install the installer patch. However, I'm not going to do that just to show the installation bit. Just be warned that this bit might take a little while, so I might be yapping for a little bit in the middle of this. So, now we have both filled in. We're now going to press confirm again. We will only download this update, showing any progress as a percentage. Remember when we had to press it. And we can cancel at any point. If it goes well, it will automatically sell as soon as the installation succeeds. So, remember to press it within 10% range. So hopefully we've done that right. And now the update should go smoothly. So as that's updating, I'm just going to quickly clarify how this works again whilst it's doing this. And hopefully we've done this right. So update notes, we get shown up to 5 updates. We can scroll through each of them and we'll see either add positive, remove positive, add negative, remove negative, or unintentional nonsense. We use those with the starting values of the update versions. Start with the total of 0, get a final total, which then tells us the percentage to press it at this stage. Using these rules, I didn't actually get 0, so the value is exactly 0, half the total round up, so simple one because you're not going to be adding anything. It has to be 2% away from this value. Selection. The defaults are programs and libraries, but to optimize the solve, you can use installer patch, which means this is relevant, or faster loading, which means the installation time is 15 to 30 seconds. I would suggest, though, if you're doing the installer patch, if you're doing faster loading, the installer patch is probably better as well, because if you don't have that, you're going to have to time the press up to 100% in a 15 to 30 second window, which is going to be quite difficult. Unless you're comfortable with doing that. Then the allocation is the hardest part. After stating a component to install, we need to assign parts to system memory for each component. The editing makes you display a portion of system memory, and files can be stored a set of rectangles, but each rectangle costs an extra piece of memory, so you only add cells after the first one. Files can be stored in an area exactly for their size, no more, no less. Please confirm. This brings us to this bit. Remember to press the button during the correct percentage, and after 2 to 4 minutes or 15 to 30 seconds if faster loading, it should solve. But the thing to note is no strikes can be earned from this module. So, hopefully, if all goes well here, this should finish and solve. Hopefully, that is. So, let's see if it does it. There we go, so module. So that was driver updates. Of course, if you are smart with it, you can probably get both of these in there as well. But I want to show off the baseline solve of it. So that was driver updates. Hopefully you understand how the module works. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. I'll see you later.